news. I've been a journalist for more than 25 years. Maybe one of the biggest reasons why I got into the TV industry is so that way I can be a witness to the world, a witness to the events of the nation, a witness to what's taking place in my local community. And it's moments like right now that make me so happy, because if you are in this room right this very second, that means you have dedicated your life to making Mid-Michigan great, moving this fantastic area of the United States moving positively forward. So thank you so much for each and every one of you for being here today. And I know it truly means the world to everyone at Highfields that you are here today. I want to keep the thanks going, and if you don't mind holding your applause until the very end, we also want to thank the Joe D. Pentecost Foundation, the R.E. Olds Foundation, our sponsors, the AF Group, New Wave Technology Partners, and the Plant Professionals, Strengthening Families Giving Society members, and Robert L. Drake Society members, current and former board members, board emeritus, table hosts, all the elected officials here, and all the friends and family that are here right now, right here today. Right now, I'd like to introduce you to Tyler Jones. He's a residential director for Highfields.
Good morning, everybody. I am Tyler Jones. I'm the residential director for Highfields. It is great to see everyone here this morning in support of us in one way or another. As a director, I get to work with many students from many different areas. And today I have two students with me, Malik and Gavin. They're going to share a short essay of kind of what Highfields has taught them as they prepare to get ready to go home here in the next few weeks. So first up is Malik. I think he might be the most nervous one, so let's give him a round of applause.
Hi everyone, my name is Malik Carey. I have been at Highfields for about 4 months. I am currently on phase 4 in the Phoenix program and will be looking to be released soon and return home. While at Highfields, I have learned to own up to my mistakes and learn from them. I have learned leadership skills and to try and lead others along a positive path. I have learned that I struggle with the so many words almost every day, as I have been at Highfields, and I have learned to work around it and try to think of the best outcome of whatever situation I am in. I am a big fan of basketball. I always want to play any chance I get. I wanted to get better, and I feel like I have done that while being here. Mr. Scott has cared enough to take time out of his day. Mr. Scott has cared enough to take time out of his day to take me to the gym to work out and do drills to get me better, and I greatly appreciate that. I love that I have an opportunity to work every day throughout the campus so that I can earn money. I like that I can get a campus job and work. I use these skills that I've learned in Highfields and in the community to help me find a job when I get back home.
All right, next up is going to be Gavin.
My name is Gavin. I'm 16 years old. I'm from Dixon, Michigan. I was making bad choices in the community that got me sent to Highfields. I've been at Highfields for about 4 months. When I came to Highfields, I didn't want to be here. Even though I didn't want to be here, being here taught me self-control and discipline. I also learned how to apply for jobs and transition back into society. After 4 months of being at Highfields, I learned the tools that helped me succeed. When I returned home, I should be completing the program and released from Highfields on October 15th. I'll continue the rest of my probation, work on getting my high school diploma, and I'll be applying for jobs and hoping to get into a trade school. I'm thankful for the staff who helped me work through some of my poor choices and helped me on my way to completing the program. Thank you.
All right, thank you, everybody. And I'd like to turn it back to, all right, Robert Eastley, everybody.
Good morning. So first of all, let's give those young fellas another round of applause. I think he was incorrect. He was not the most nervous. That might be me. It takes a lot of guts to get up here, and I appreciate those young folks. I greatly appreciate being here with you all this morning in this beautiful place, and while we have the ability to be here and to fellowship and to celebrate and to just spend this type of time, I'd ask that we would take a moment of reflection to think about others. And so I'm just going to ask you each to bow your head and have a moment with me. Dear Heavenly Father, I thank you that this is a day that you have made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. Even as we do so, we think about those, God, who are facing other things, those who are facing war in their country. We think about those who are preparing for natural disasters and evacuating in Florida. We ask that you would be with them, that you would protect them, that you would watch over them. And we thank you for the opportunity that we have to be here, the opportunity that we have to fellowship with one another, to give of our time. We recognize that all of us have missed the mark in some way. All of us need help and guidance in some way. So we ask that you would help us to be those who have hearts for helping one another, that we will be beacons of light and love in our community. I thank you for, in a time of strife and division in our nation and in our world, that we have the opportunity to come together and to show care and love for one another. I thank you for the mission of Highfields. I thank you for each and every individual that is here to learn, to understand, to give to the mission of their time and of their energy and of their resources. I ask that you help us to carry that with us in all that we do. In Jesus' name that I pray, amen.
Robert, thank you so much. That was amazing. And now the easiest part of my time at the MC tonight. Right now it's time to have breakfast burritos. So breakfast is going to be served. We'll have about 8 or so minutes to do that, and then that's when we'll bring up the ring. All right, good morning, everybody. Good morning. I know many of you are still eating and waiting for your burrito to arrive, but we're going to go ahead and begin and just keep the program moving along. So good morning, and thank you so much for attending. Many of you have been here before. For many of you, this is your first time breakfast. I believe it is the best 60 minutes every year in Highfields calendar year. So thank you for being here. I want to thank Tyler Jones and Gavin and Malik one more time. Great job, boys. I want to take a minute and recognize the contributions of an individual. He does not know I'm going to do this, but Tim Monroe, our Vice President, will be retiring from full-time Highfield service in December after 40 years of service. And, so Tim, would you stand and be recognized? As I enter my 19th year at Highfields, I consider it a privilege every year to step onto this stage and to look out and see such a great gathering of individuals, knowing that you're here in support of the mission. I encourage you to take a journey with us this morning. As we highlight that mission, listen to the stories of changed lives and have the opportunity to partner with us in changing those lives. Highfields had a humbling beginning in 1962 when a small vision became a reality and we began to serve justice-involved youth through our residential treatment program located in Onondaga. Today, we are a state-certified qualified residential treatment program. In the late 1980s, we expanded our services and we added our community services programs that serve children and families in the child welfare arena and the mental health arena. And 15 years ago, we added our out-of-school programs, and today we serve 10 schools in mid-Michigan serving elementary and middle school children. Today, you're going to hear the stories of Freba and Kaylee. Their inspirational stories will serve as an encouragement to us and how timely interventions by caring and qualified staff at the right time in the right place can truly make the difference in the lives of children and families. Over the years, you've probably heard me say, my goal in life is to simply work myself out of a job.
Would it not be great if one day the services at Highfields were not needed? But the reality is that children and families are continually impacted by a variety of social dilemmas and problems. Poverty, addiction, domestic violence, homelessness, mental health, anxiety, depression, family breakups, just to name a few. They greatly impact the families that we work with. These problems are not selective in whom they impact. Each of us have family members, coworkers, colleagues that we're going to go home to that are impacted by one or more of those problems. Last year, I shared a little of my own family's journey with addiction. My father died at age 59 after battling alcoholism his entire life. My younger brother was first arrested at age 16 for drunk driving when I was a college student. He entered his first rehab at age 21. That was in 1986. And as recently as 2 years ago, I flew him across country to an intense rehab detox program. He returned home as sober and healthy as he'd ever been in over a decade. Then he spiraled over a 2-year period, and he lost his battle with that addiction a month ago today. These problems are not selective. Why do we at Highfields do the work we do? Because everybody deserves an opportunity to get better, to overcome adversity, and a second chance. While my brother Brad couldn't overcome his own demons, I am committed to continue to do everything in my power to help our staff to do everything that they can do to help the children and families that they work with. As supporters and ambassadors for Highfields, you have that opportunity to join with us. These stories can have positive outcomes and happy endings. Never forget the difference that you make. So, thank you for being with us today. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your morning and breakfast and the stories that you're going to get. Okay, join with me as we watch this year's video entitled Stories of Hope. Following that, you're going to hear from Brenda Cotton, our Director of Other School Programs, and she's going to bring Freva, one of our students, with her.
Highfields began in the early 60s. Judge Robert Drake and so many of his counterparts had a vision that children would have a place to go to get the help they needed, and it could be right here in Ingham County.
Highfields is an opportunity for us to provide an investment in these young people.
Me and my little brother in the house, my mama was working 2 shifts a lot. So basically I was just looking out, taking care of my little brother while she was at work. And then my brother stopped going to school, stuff like that. That's when the peer pressure started coming in. And I seen this video on YouTube about how to steal cars. And I started getting into that type of stuff. I just kept getting tied into it. Even when I did get locked up for a couple of days and got back out, I kept doing the same thing. So like, it kind of was like an addiction.
Anytime kids are away from home, it creates anxiety. It's a change, and no kid has signed up to be here willingly. Through their actions, they're here, so we really just try to make this as a therapeutic environment as we can.
I'm actually in this transition group to where it helps me with life skills, start a job interview, how to act in a job interview. I already know how to do a resume. The program is teaching me how to interact with different people.
A lot of kids come here and they don't have the basic life skills. They don't know how to wash their clothes. They don't know how a bank account works. They don't know how to fill out a job application. So that group really focuses on teaching the life skills that kids may not get at home, but they really need to become an adult.
They treat us with respect, they caring, they help us out when we need help. They play with us in activities. They help us with our therapy. When people feel down, they pick us back up, help us get back on our mindset. Prior to me being here, I had got shot, so I would be in the hospital or I would still be in detention.
Without Highfields, a lot of these kids may unfortunately be dead.
I actually sat down and did some time. I actually can think about how to adapt back to the environment. Got to take care of my little brother when my mama at work, because nobody gonna be there for him but me. So I just feel like it's time for me to step up and grow up and go take care of my family.
He's going to change the world, and whether it's in his small town or whether it's just for one person, he's going to be a good kid.
Ultimately, our goal is to come alongside children and families and stabilize them and strengthen them and then empower them.
What I've found just from coming on campus and watching clients that are here get impacted by the programming, it's real.
We currently are working with 10 different schools in the mid-Michigan area.
Ingham Academy is a court-run day treatment program. The students get to work at their own pace. They are able to earn credits as fast or as slow as they need to. We've had kids that came in without any credits that we're able to get done in about 2 years. This program gives them an opportunity to earn an education when they might not have been successful at another program.
When I was doing regular school, I was messing up here and there, and I just wasn't on the right path. And then I got in here, started out somewhat the same way, was on a rough path, and then I kind of got my head to it and was like, this is gonna help me, and it's not gonna help me unless I help myself.
Some staff, they help you with like emotional, and then teachers, they will give you like their undivided attention so you can work out with them one-on-one.
My grandson had times that he had bad behaviors. He doesn't listen, he wouldn't follow instructions, directions. Temper was very bad even at a young age. He was hitting and kicking and punching, and I felt like a punching bag most of the time for him.
Lisa was just feeling very overwhelmed. She was very determined to do her best with these children. She was very determined to keep them in her care, but just was very, very overwhelmed and just wanted help.
At that point, I said, I need something else. Highfields happened pretty quick. I called my CPS worker and was talking with her. She sent me to community mental health, and paperwork got signed, and we started with Leah in January 2021.
We worked on emotional regulation skills with Devlin, teaching him how to regulate his emotions, giving him tools to use. I also worked with Lisa on parenting skills, holding boundaries, and when they do have a meltdown, the things that they can do to help with that meltdown and help the child re-regulate themselves.
She helped me remember, you have skills, and I've known them. It just needs to bring them back because it had been a few years since I used them. She met with us about once a week, every week, and helped me with his behaviors and different ways to talk to him. When everything started, my house was chaos, total chaos all the time. We now are at a point that we can sit down to eat without screaming and yelling going on. We just live like normal human beings, and it's wonderful and amazing.
I feel like the work we do here at Highfields, we impact families like this all the time. Sometimes it's not as evident as being able to go to an adoption. Sometimes we just know that we've planted a seed and that hopefully in the future that seed will come to fruition and they will be doing well. We're working with families like this all day, every day. This is what we're striving for, is to help families have a better outcome.
There's no doubt in my mind that without all the help that we've had, my life would be total chaos right now.
And that's really what our community services programs do, is help keep every child in their home receiving the help that they need so that they can be very productive in life.
I actually was kind of happy because I could get a second chance at life, being able to reduce and come back to the community after I finished this program.
Good morning. I am Brenda Cotton, and I've had the honor of overseeing the Reaching Higher program since it began 17 years ago. As Brian mentioned, we are in 10 different schools in 9 different school districts in 3 counties, Ingham, Eaton, and Jackson County. In this program, we are able to serve up to 450 students every single day in these schools. It's a grant-funded program through the Department of Education and the newly formed My LEAP department, and they have us focus on academic skills. We every day do homework help and enrichment activities to help build students to become better in their academic skills. But because we're Highfields, we also incorporate soft skills and work on character development and problem solving and conflict resolution. And in the program, we make it fun and engaging and broaden the students' horizons by exposing them to new things that they might not have had a chance to experience yet. So we bring in 3D printers and drones. We let them go roller skating through the hallways, and we do cooking class. But when we do cooking class, we teach them how to cook at home with supplies they might have at home and in a microwave to make it safe. So this program brings so much to the students that get to participate in this. And with me today, we have brought Freva Hakiza. He's a student at our Atwood program. And with him today, he brought his family, his mother and his brothers. Mom does not speak English, so we have an interpreter. So if you hear somebody talking through this whole thing, it's because he's interpreting for her. Also, we brought Amy Atkinson, who is the site coordinator at Atwood. I would like to right now read some comments that she wrote about Freva so you all can understand what an amazing person this is next to me. Freva is a leader in our program, both academically and socially. He is witty, so creative, an artist and a natural athlete. Freva has a smile that always looks a bit mischievous, but is also contagious. He is helpful to his peers as well as staff. He is always up to try to learn something new. All of these things are great attributes to have, but you can say them about a lot of kids. What sets Freva apart is his heart. His unwavering faith and compassion for others is something I can honestly say I've never seen in another person of his age. He truly cares for others and their well-being. We work really hard at Reaching Higher to build our kids' confidence inside and outside of the classroom and make sure that they are proud of who they are as individuals. I think Freva is a great example of how Reaching Higher is able to impact kids. Since joining Reaching Higher, Freva's confidence has grown tremendously, and we are able to see the amazing young man he truly is. He stands in his beliefs and is proud of his uniqueness. In turn, he is able to encourage and support his peers to also become and do their best.
Start off with a joke. Why did the chicken cross the road? Because. Hi, my name is Freva Hakiza, and I am 12 years old and the oldest kid of my siblings. I have a twin, but I'm older than him by 3 minutes. I go to Atwood New Tech School. I am in the 6th grade. I love school. I learn a lot every day. I live in a place that helps you get a good housing plan, so I'm glad that because where I'm from was rough. I'm from Uganda and it's pretty cool, but the environment and population there is absolutely crazy. If you search up Uganda right now, you would see it's a wonderful place. When my family and I lived there, we always told ourselves we would come to the USA. We worked as hard as anybody in the world, and finally in 2018 it worked. The reason we came was because we wanted a better life, we wanted to learn a new language, and my brothers and I did. We now speak 2 languages. And you know how parents like the money, so that's also one reason. I am so happy that we decided to come, and I also have never been more terrified in my life than when we took the plane. That was an experience. I moved to Michigan from Ohio with my family, and that's when I started Reaching Higher. The first weekend, I loved it. It has impacted my life in a bunch of ways. It teaches positive attitudes and a mindset. We learn math, reading, and science. It is a fantastic experience, and I love it so much. It has changed me from a negative to a positive person, and I appreciate everything we do there. I am grateful for Miss Amy and the staff who spend time helping us succeed. Miss Amy believes in me. Reaching Higher helped me out a lot about who I am and that I can reach any goal I set for myself. I want to thank the best site coordinator, Miss Amy, the director, Miss Brenda, and the most amazing staff. I want to thank my mother, Sabato, my brothers, Dora and Appella, and number one, God. Thank you for letting me share my story.
Last night, when we were here practicing, Trevor comes up to me and he said, Mr. Bryan, Miss Brenda, Miss Amy, both need raises. I love that young man. Thank you, Trevor. At this time, I'd like to introduce Kaylee. And Kaylee, you can come on up. She's a mother in our Highfields case management program. She began services when her daughter was 3 years old. Kaylee learned how to navigate her daughter's behavior, and thanks to Highfields and her counselor, Amy Green, please help me welcome Kaylee.
Good morning. I want to start out by saying thank you for letting us come here. My name is Kaylee. In 2020, my then 3-year-old daughter, Alea, was diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder, also known as ASD. She was referred to case management services offered through Highfields to help her navigate and link her to the appropriate services. Alea's behaviors included biting others, kicking, slamming doors, throwing things, being destructive to property. She would throw stuff, she'd spit. She did not have she didn't have the skills to be able to interact or play with her peers. Alea was also physically aggressive, and she made no eye contact with others, and she was not potty trained. She also has sensory issues, and she would constantly be seen chewing on objects and would lick people or things. She would spin around in circles frequently, sometimes for upwards of 45 minutes, and she had limited facial expressions. When a task was presented to her that she did not want to do, she would start gagging and throwing a tantrum. Through case management, she was able to go through occupational therapy to help her with her sensory needs, and she also received applied behavior analysis to help with her other needs. In 2021, Alea started displaying different behaviors. She would take off without warning and no concern for her safety. At this time, she wouldn't listen to adults. She would swear a lot. She was writing on the walls, and she wasn't able to cope very well with changes. Alea started receiving outpatient therapy, specifically trauma therapy, to help her through the hard times that she had endured. In 2023, Alea was referred to psychiatric services, and she was having accidents in her pants and became easily distracted. She had a hard time paying attention and a hard time remembering things. Through psychiatric services, Alea was put on medication, and to this day it has helped her tremendously. All of these services were coordinated through Highfields by Alea's case manager, Amy Green. And without her, honestly, I don't think we would have gotten this far. I'm sorry. We were supported on every step of the way, including the IEP process and getting her grandfathered in for busing for school. We never felt alone, and we always had support through the case management program offered by Highfields. Today, Alea is able to regulate her emotions and accept the answer no. She takes showers on her own and she can brush her own hair. She cleans up after herself and she can clean her room and parts of the house without being asked. Not only has that part of Highfields helped us, but I am also lucky enough to say that I am a two-time recipient of the Aldinger Scholarship as well. I currently go to school through Penn Foster Online, and I'm going for vet tech. I'm almost done with that. Without Highfields, none of this would have been possible at all. I don't even know where we would be. We're very appreciative, not only with the help that Alea has received, but as a whole family that we have received as well. I knew that I could always get in contact with any question or concern or anything that I just was unsure about. All I had to do was leave a message and it was answered almost immediately. Alea now today is comfortable talking about things that bother her or upset her with almost no issue at all. Her success, I believe, is solely because of Highfields, and we could not have made it through without any of you. Highfields worked with my family as a whole to make sure that we were all on the same page as Alea and we could all be part of her treatment, and I feel like that was really important. We're very grateful for the help that we know how now to deal with her behaviors and meltdowns, which are very few. She's so much better. Alea is looking forward to the next challenge in life. She's going to be a big sister in January, and with all of these skills, she's able to look forward to that. So thank you, everyone, and thank you for having us here.
Thank you so much, Katie. That takes a lot of courage, right? Oh my goodness, thank you so much. Also, thank you to Brenda and Freva. Thank you for saying that joke. You know, it's funny, I was talking to Brian and Laura yesterday. I'm like, how do I start? How do I do the welcome? Maybe I'll come up with a joke or something. So last night I was talking to my daughter. I was like, I think I'm gonna say this or that. I'm in the middle of me telling this joke, and she in the middle goes, not funny, Dad. Not funny. I was like, well, wait a minute. I'm gonna be talking to mostly not funny, Dad. Stick to the script. So thank you, Freva. That was an awesome joke. I didn't tell you guys at the top, I'm a new board member for Highfields. It's a relationship that Highfields has had with WLNS-TV. In fact, we've had a board member now for more than 40 years. I'm not really a board member guy, so when I was initially asked, I was like, well, I'm not sure about that. Well, my former co-anchor, Kira Lake, who was the board member who was leaving to get this spot open, she was basically like, look, you should really think about being a board member. And then Siobhan Pletler, who was a board member for many, many years, multi-award-winning journalist, she's like, you know what, you should be a board member, Jorma. And then if you all know who Sherry Jones is, a legend in this area, she came up to me and goes, Jorma, you're gonna be a board member. And I'm so thankful that they encouraged me to be a board member because Highfields, as you just heard from two cases, amazing stuff. I remember my first board member meeting, I sat next to this guy who's gonna be coming up next, Kevin Shaw. I was a little nervous, didn't know what to think or do, but he was the coolest person of all time. So I want to invite him up to the stage right now. Kevin Shaw.
I asked him at that first board meeting, was he shy and how was he in front of a microphone? He said, I'm on TV early in the morning. I said, I'm sorry, I've never seen you. Anyway, thanks. My name is Kevin Shaw. I'm Vice President of Marketing at Wheelan, a commercial construction firm headquartered here in Lansing. But it's been my privilege since 2020 to be a board member at Highfields. I'm going to kind of bring it home for you today because now this is our opportunity of a call to action. I'm sure that many of you are like me. You're pretty busy. I bet you had to rearrange some things in your schedule to get this 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock hour free. And you're probably looking at your watch thinking, am I going to make that 9 o'clock phone call or that 9:30 meeting I got to do? That's pretty typical. I'm the same way. When I'm driving, sometimes I think of things, and sometimes I watch TV or I read the paper, and I hear stories like kind of what we've heard this morning, and I do have these thoughts, right? These thoughts, that's the key word, of, man, I feel really fortunate. I feel like I'm kind of lucky that I'm in the position that I'm in. And I also then think, there's a lot of people out there that are less fortunate. I should actually do something about this, right? And then the phone rings, somebody changes the station, my wife calls, something distracts me and redirects me from actually doing anything about it, okay? So my question to you today is, what do you do with the thought? Maybe you had that thought this morning. You're listening to these stories, you're thinking to yourself, like, this is amazing. Like, I know that there's real needs out there in the community, and I have a chance to do something about it, and then, whoop, the meeting's about to end, and you don't do anything. But if I'm being honest this morning, thoughts are really nice, but without action, they're kind of meaningless, okay? I know that's harsh. So, I'm challenging you a little bit. Every other month when I attend the Highfield board meetings, I'm reminded that the human needs of today's society are very, very real. I am often, frankly, shocked at some of the things that we hear at the board meetings, but I'm encouraged that Highfields is here to meet those needs. Jesus' words were, whatever you do for the least of these, you do to me. And so several years ago, after a board meeting, I did make that decision to do something small, take action, not just think about it. And I took action, and I became a member of the Strengthening Family Society at Highfields, which is just something I do to make regular financial donations to the organization. And here's the good news. You get today that same opportunity. I know you thought I would never ask, right? So here we go. Today you've heard the full Highfield story, and you've met some of the great people, great staff people, and the people who we serve. And it's my privilege to ask you to make a financial investment to support our day-to-day operations. Before I ask the table host to pass out the pledge cards, I do have something very exciting to announce. This is great news. The Joe D. Pentecost Foundation and the R.A. Olds Foundation will generously match today any contributions from this event up to $30,000. Thank you very much. So as you are currently thinking and about to take action on something, just know that your gifts would be matched today. With support from Joe D. Pentecost Foundation and R.A. Olds Foundation, your gifts will go even further today. So now I'd like to ask the table host to please take those envelopes, circulate those pledge cards. I'll give you just a few seconds to get that done. Thank you, table host, for doing that. So you're going to be looking at a piece of paper, which is your opportunity to take action today. If you've been inspired by what you have seen today, and you would like to support the ongoing operation needs of Highfields, I invite you to join me as a member of our Strengthening Family Society. Starting at the top of the card, the Strengthening Family Society pledge level names are meant to give you a sense of what your contributions can do. Your contribution will go toward the unrestricted operating funds at Highfields. And may I just add this point parenthetically? Unrestricted is a great word for the Highfields folks because there's a lot of bureaucracy involved in funding social services, so unrestricted gives us a little bit more freedom. The first level of giving, the gift of stability, is a pledge of $1,000 each year for 3 years, which is about $83 a month. The second giving level, the gift of hope, is a pledge of $2,500 a year for 3 years. The third giving level, the gift of strength, is a pledge of $5,000 a year for 3 years. And the final level, the gift of empowerment, is a pledge of $10,000 per year for 3 years. If you're joining me in pledging support for the Highfields mission, thank you on behalf of the children and the families that we serve. And of course, if you prefer to give at a different level, on the next line, please tell us how much you would like to give and for how many years, or a one-time gift. Trust me when I say anything that you can do would be a huge help. Perhaps you would like to make a gift of stock or something differently, just check the box. Please contact me. I have other thoughts to share. And whatever you give today, including the gift of your time, we really sincerely appreciate your support. I'm going to give you just a few minutes now to finish filling out your pledge cards, and when you're finished, if you could please pass your envelopes back to your table hosts, and then we will conclude the program momentarily. Thank you very much.
As Kevin mentioned, thank you so much for your time today, and thank you for any sort of help you may provide Highfields. We also want to say again thank you to the Joe D. Pentecost Foundation, R.E. Olds Foundation, the AF Group, New Wave Technology Partners, and the plant professionals. Again, thank you for everyone for coming out to Highfields Strengthening Families Breakfast. Table hosts, don't forget to turn in your packets on your way out, and I'm supposed to remind everybody those coffee mugs on the table, those are yours. Don't forget to take them with you. That's a good little mug right there. Once again, table hosts, don't forget to turn the packets in on your way out. And on behalf of Highfields, we want to say thank you so much for being here today. Have a good rest of your day.